Okay, if anybody clicks on this video, just click it off. It's a private conversation. I'm talking to my sister, and just click it off. It's going to be strong language, and like I said, it's freedom of speech, so just click it off. Cheryl, you know, you and I had talked about the murder of our mother, and we proved, we checked, and her Social Security number hasn't been used since 1972. We talked about the phony police report that a 7-year-old child could figure out that that's the most phony report at all, that Gilbert Hine had a lot to do with that, because his words in there that she embarrassed us. And I so-called, they said that Betty Jackson called this Duke person, whoever that was, and I said she was in Chicago. Why in the hell would I say she's in Chicago? Forgive me, God, but I mean, Chicago. when we know and saw what we saw, no way. There's a phony police report. All right, now, we are working on some things real quick, Cheryl. Some higher ups. We are working on something. I don't know how much longer I got. I will tell you that my medical problem is a little bit rough now. The doctors just can't do no more for me, and I go day by day. It's up to God what He wants to do. You know, I know you don't believe in God, but I do. Okay, so okay, now, Cheryl, God, I lost the train of thought. Sis, I'm sorry. This is hard to talk about. You know, we know the police report was phony. You know, we tried like heck to get the sheriff's department to go out on the crime scene. They never did see it. Okay? And we hired an investigator to do some things, and of course I got other people working on other things now. Okay? It's not important who or what. I don't know if I'll see it happen, but I'm going to go as much as I can. Now, beyond that, sis. Now, I want to tell you something straight out. You were talking about the body, Cheryl. If I hand carried that body, the remains of my mother, I was lucky enough to find it, remains in there, and handed it to the sheriff's department, and you'd sit back and wait 6 months, and you'd call them, and this is what you get. You'd ask them, are you going to arrest Gilbert Hine Sr. or what? And they say, well, we don't have enough evidence. Isn't that right, Cheryl? And this is what we've been getting for 40 years? Or you'll say, well, what about the body? They'll say, what body? What about the body my sister brought in? Well, we have no record of that. Isn't that right, Cheryl? And this is what we've been handed for 40 years? What about that tape? They said they so-called lost it or something. But they know there's copies. They've been handing us lines of bullshit for a long time. And you know darn well that Grandpa went to his grave, said it was a cover-up. Okay? So, and I definitely believe him. I went through crap, but that's not important. I'd like for you to, oh, there's one thing I gotta tell you real quick. I was talking to my husband about, you know, corruption, about money, and he's talking about politics and how it works. And he says, and, you know, that's something we haven't checked into. Well, we've come up with a couple things of people of interest that we're looking at, okay? And what it is his donations and his, I can't pronounce it right now, is donations, and also his money he's giving out. So like my husband says, when somebody gives money for somebody running for office, they don't give out $1 million or $5 million unless they expect something back. And he says, sort of how politics works. So, I mean, he just gave me some ideas that this goes on, you know. Not that it is, I'm just saying this is just some things that could be going on. I mean, there is a lot of money involved, and he seems to be walking free, and nobody's doing nothing. They're dragging their feet in every way they can. You know, they tell you they're doing this, they're doing that, and they end up doing nothing. They might be sitting on that body right now. You wouldn't know it. He sure how I'd go bring it out. So, you know, I'd like for him to prove me wrong, and I'd forget everything happened in 72, and I'd publicly apologize to him and say, thank you, you done a good job, you know, solve the case. But I don't look for that to ever happen, okay? And another thing is, I put a video out there for Clyde Hine. I was trying to get a message to the man. You know, use your head, you know. But Willie off the pickle truck, or he's not using his head, he could end up walking a free man, but he's evidently not getting the message. You know, so I guess it's not registering up here, so whatever about Clyde Hine. So, you know, if he wants to go down with Gilbert Charles Hine Sr., that's his freaking problem. But anyhow, one thing, the main thing I want to get out through to you, Cheryl. Click on Manatee County Sheriff's Department site. I did, and I tell you something, I wanted to barf. They're parading around in uniforms. We're the greatest department in the country. I bet some of these other departments would say bullshit. I mean, you don't see Pima County, our sheriff's department, parading around trying to prove something to the public that they're doing a job. We're a bunch of Manatee County Sheriff's Department look like a bunch of Boy Scouts out there marching, trying to prove to the public we're the greatest. They look like a bunch of idiots out there walking around instead of out there doing their job. If Pima County wouldn't do that, they don't have to do that, because we, the people, know they're doing their job. They prove it every freaking day. But click on their site, Cheryl. They'll make you barf. I mean, my God. Have to sit out there and try to prove something to the public. That's all I got to say right now, Cheryl. I'll talk to you later. Like I said, anybody clicks on this, click it off. It's a freedom of speech. And this is between my sister and I. I'll talk to you later, sis. You take care.